Hello and welcome back. This is the second part of the Power VPN Gateway demo. In this demo, we'll be showing the support for using identities. This allows you to specify local and remote identities for the different sides of the gateway. The last time we set this up, we used IP addresses to specify those identities, and this time we'll be using a string to specify that. You can either use an FQDN or you can specify an arbitrary string as long as it matches on both sides. So this is a diagram from last time where we set up the site-to-site automation shown in the green box. Then we connected it to an existing on-prem VPC that we used for demonstrating what an on-prem environment might look like. This time we're going to basically be doing the same thing. The only difference is that we're going to be specifying that local and remote identities for each of these. And we'll be using libres1 on the on-prem side to show that connectivity, and then connecting from the on-prem server to the remote workspace that we set up in the IBM cloud side. So we're going to start off with showing you what we have existing. This is just representing our on-prem environment. We've got a single VPC with two subnets inside of it. We've got a subnet that has our VPN gateway, which is just going to be a VSI that's running libres1. And then we've got another subnet that has our workload or on-prem server, which will be the server that we use to connect to the Power VS workspace. First thing we'll do is we'll go back to the schematics and go through the variables that we have set there. If you have any questions on how to set up the schematics workspace, refer to the first video. Okay, so here is the workspace that we created. It's got all the variables already set for creating that deployment. I'll just go through a few of the variables here. Our workspace is in DAO 10. We've got a resource group name set. We've got a name set for all the resources that the automation will be creating. We've got our client siders, this is our on-prem network. Right now we just have one in here, but you could put multiples in here. Refer to the last demo to kind of see how that's done. And then we have our power siders, and so this is our network that we're going to define in power. And then we set our pre-share key and then our peer address. This is just the remote gateway address. So in this case, since we're looking at it from the power side, this is the remote address or the on-prem address of the gateway server. And for this demo, we'll be using the identity support. So we scroll down to the bottom and we can see identity local and identity remote. And so we'll just define both of those. And so identity local, this is going to be the power side. So we want to call it something that is power. So let's do power vs.local. Save that. And then we'll modify the remote. And remote from this side is the on-prem, so on-prem local. And when you are using identity support, you need to define both of those. Okay, so those are set. And everything else is the same. So we'll just go hit apply here. And wait for that to finish. That took about 5 minutes for that to complete, just like last time. And just like last time, we have our VPN endpoint here. We'll take note of that because that'll be what we use to tell our on-prem gateway where to connect to. So let's go take a look back at our diagram now. So after the automation ran, we now have this picture. We don't have this connection yet because we're going to define that manually. But we do have what's in the green here. So it created, the VPC with the VPN gateway and everything, created the transit gateway for us. It stood up the Power VS workspace. What we're going to need to do now to actually have some type of workload defined in Power so we can connect to it is go do that. Okay, so we went ahead and created our subnet in our workspace. And we've got a virtual server also that is building now. So while that's going, what we can do is go set up our on-prem to point to our new VPN that's created. So I'll go back to the diagram real fast. We just created this subnet and that server that's sitting over there. And what we need to do is this VPN gateway is created, this connection is created. We have our gateway server that's in our on-prem VPC, but we still need to actually define this VPN connection there. So we'll do that with a libres1. I'll just tab over to our on-prem here, and I'll edit our configuration. And everything should be right in here except for our IP address. And this is going to be different, of course, for whatever configuration you have. We're having run libres one. You may be running a different kind of gateway appliance. This is just one way to do this configuration. So go back over to our schematics and grab our IP address. Should all be correct. Okay, so we'll save that out and then we'll restart our service. And then we should be able to check our status and that should show up. Let's see. Yep. We got one active connection and one loaded connection. So that means it is connected there. So now we just need to go back over and check on our Power VS machine. Okay, our Power VS server is active now and we have an IP address. It's a private IP address on the 10 dot. So let's go back over to our on-prem. This is our on-prem VPN that we just set up. We'll hop from here. So let me go back to the diagram. We'll hop from the VPN gateway over to our VPN server and we'll try to connect over to our Power VS server. So we'll first try pinging it and then we'll SSH over to it. That's successful. So let's go back to here. We need to grab that IP address. So grab that. And we got to go to our local on-prem server first. So that's a page. The key here, our key, and then I need the virtual server instance IP. So that is it's 100.0.4. All right, on-prem dash server, and that is in the diagram, this machine here. And then we'll try to ping over to our power machine that is over here. So we'll grab that from our power. It's the 10.100 here. Ping that. Okay, we have connectivity. And then we should also be able to SSH over there. And there it is. We're now connected from our on-prem server to our Power VS server. And we should actually be able to ping back. We'll try that. That would be the 192.100 address. Yep, and there it is. So we have bidirectional communication there, and we could also SSH, but then we're just like running loops there. Okay, so back to the diagram. That shows basically the completion of the complete picture here and being able to talk between our on-prem and our power. If you guys have any questions about some of the setup and some of the things we left out here, please refer back to part 1 where we show site to site without the identity support.